Hello friends, I am so glad that you have stopped by to see some of my Christmas decor. I have a mixture of new and vintage items, and everything that I decorate with either is something I love or has value in a memory. This little vintage elf is from my father-in-law. I don't know the age of it, but my friend Meg at Chasing Retro would, because she has a collection of them. This flamingo was given to me by my friend Lori at Enchanted Dream 71. Also, the artwork was made by my son Brandon, and those are antique bottles that he found on a job site. This glass tray was my grandmother's, and inside of it are 3 small bottles that I made, and I made those when I very first started my YouTube channel a few years ago. Behind that is a picture that I painted. Amanda, Nick, and I sat down with a Bob Ross show and we painted pictures, and it was so much fun. Over here is this big glass bowl that I believe was given to me as a wedding gift, and I've just filled that with some ornaments, but behind it is this beautiful flamingo artwork, and that was given to me by my friend Melissa Barnes, and she has a YouTube channel. I'll be sure to link that in my description box. This beautiful bowl was my father-in-law's, and it was a wedding gift to him, and it dates to the 1930s. Next up, I have a phone in my china hutch. Yes, I don't just use my hutch for china. This actually is vintage. It looks antique, and it's meant to look antique, but it's vintage. The picture behind it is vintage as well and used to belong to my grandmother. You can see that I most definitely have an eclectic style in my house. Coming up is one of my most prized Christmas possessions. It is this little angel. She is vintage. I've had her since I was 4 years old, and she's special to me because it's one of my first Christmas memories is that she topped our tree. We are headed over to what I call my book nook. It is my stacks of books that I use for journaling, and I've just of course added some decor over here. I love this sweet mouse. I bought a few of these last year. I absolutely adore them, and I gave some as gifts as well. And up in this bowl surrounded by lights is Gilly. You guys remember Gilly, and he is hanging out with a llama, and this llama comes from my niece Julia, and she went overseas. I want to say Nicaragua or a place like that. Then we have this reminder for all of us that pink isn't a color, it's an attitude. That was given to me by a friend. And then up above that, we have Keep Calm and Love Flamingos. And I believe that my husband Carl gave that to me. And then next to that we have a flamingo poking out of the wall, and that was given to me by my sister Andy, and I absolutely love it. Now below that we have this picture. This was a picture that Brandon did when he was in high school, and he didn't like it, so I took it and I covered the picture with paper. So it was a painting, but now it's paper. This is most definitely a vintage stocking, and this was Carl's when he was a child. Here we are at my windowsill. I have a couple of birdhouses that I love. They are in the shape of campers. I don't know if you guys know this, but I absolutely love camping, and I do have an Airstream. It used to be my dad's, and it's mine now, and I love it so much. That Dalmatian was created by I believe that was by Amanda, and there's a bowl or a little star dish next to it, and that was created by Andrew. Above my window, I have some twinkle lights, and I have my little pink sparkly Joy. I've had that for years now, and I love it, and it goes in my dining room so nicely. I'm going to give you a sneak peek at some of the stuff that is inside that corner cabinet in a few minutes. Here we have a view of the corner cabinet, my little table that has my pink tree on it, some things I have hanging on the wall. and the twinkle light. Here are my snow globes. All of those have been gifted to me. My new little ornament that I got, which is a vintage TV. There's one of my poodles. I have a little bit of a poodle collection. I think I've got 4 poodles now. Here are my little trailer ornaments. I love them. And a tray that says flamingo all the way, and that was also a gift to me. I have 3 other ornaments that are trailers, and they are blue and silver, and you will see them there in the background. And there is another set of those sweet little mice that I bought last year. Up against the wall there's a box with tassels in it. It says be joyful. I got that on clearance last year, I think. So I'm going to give you a close-up of my flamingo ornaments. I do believe most of these have been gifted to me, and I hang them on my candelabra so that people can see them together. And I just think every single one of them is adorable. Look at the one on the lawn chair having a drink. It's just the cutest. Also on my candelabra, I have a few mini cupcake ornaments. Up on the wall, I have a wreath, and it is made with feathers and other items too, but that was gifted to me by my sister Andy. Now we're going to take a peek inside the pink feather tree, which is molting. I'm going to have to get a new one. In here you can see these 2 mice. They are sitting on a teapot, and that was given to me many, many years ago by my friend Mary. A new addition we have this year is this sweet little deer, and then this pink one I actually picked up last year. I think the pink one maybe was from Target. Actually, they're both pink, so I should say the pink felt one was maybe from Target. But the other one might have been too. I just recently picked it up, and I can't remember where I got it. You can see here I have a white poodle. Oh, we're missing him. We'll go back to him, I think. We have a piece of cake here, which I love that. Here's a white poodle. That is a new addition this year as well. So that makes the 4th poodle in my collection. Here we have a pink Cadillac, an ornament given to me by my sister Andy. Here is one of my most beloved poodles. She's wearing a white shirt with black polka dots, and she has pink hair. And then next to her is just this it looks like a French poodle, and it's just the funniest thing. And then we have this poodle as well. This is a white one. This is not my favorite poodle, but it was a poodle nevertheless, so I went ahead and picked that up probably 5 years ago. Here I have a little tiny gingerbread house. Love it so much. I love anything that's cake or candy or anything like that. I have this jacket that was given to me by my friend Mary. She and I have been friends for about 20 years now. And above that we have a pink beetle ornament. And actually this ornament belongs to Amanda, but it goes so well on my pink tree. Just some other ornaments that I've hung in the tree that I feel like go nicely. Like many of us, I love tiny things, and so here I have this sweet teapot that hangs on my wall, and it has these little tiny bears, and actually Carl gave me each one of those bears. I got the little pots that are on the top shelf at a craft fair probably 20 years ago, and the little tiny animals as well. Since we're in the dining room, I figured I'd give you a peek into the corner hutch. So this is all of my memorabilia from my wedding day. And then down here on this next shelf, those plates were my grandmother's. That bunny on the far right was given to me by my other grandmother. The donkey was given to me by my mom. And these little precious moments roses I bought for Amanda when she was a baby. And I love that the yellow one is holding a mouse, because you guys know Amanda has her pet mouse named Sid. So I think that's perfect. And then in the back over there, it's a little bit glared on, but that was a picture of Brandon. Then the angel on the far left was also a gift, and that was given to me when Andrew was born. This lamb cookie jar belonged to my grandmother on my dad's side, and that teacup on the far right comes from Germany and came over, I believe, with my paternal grandmother's family. This china doll also belonged to my grandmother. That angel was gifted to me. And then there's my vintage angel that I showed you in the beginning. Here is one of two of my silver Christmas trees. I decorated them very similar to the way that I did last year, and I used a lot of white, red, and silver on them. You can see that I have hung some of the stockings on the wall. Flamingo stocking is mine, Carl is the Santa stocking, and below that is a penguin stocking, and that is for Andrew. On our entertainment center, we have a couple of those tiny houses, a nativity. We have Snoopy, again, very eclectic collection of things that were given to me. This little camper that was given to me, I think, by my sister Andy. Another tiny house. Behind that, some snowmen, so it's like they're giant snowmen. And here is the other tree. And on that other wall, you can see some stockings in the background. And those are for Brandon, Haley, Amanda, and Nick. We also took time to set up our train track this year, and this is the first time we've put it on the floor around our entertainment center. You can see hanging on the entertainment center is a little bit of artwork that Andrew did when he was in school. You guys probably saw my stocking art from last year. I took a stocking, cut it in half, put it on canvas, and voila, we had art. This is my front porch. As you can see, it is fairly simple. I've got my little tree. I will give you an up close of that later. There's a tiny, tiny wreath on the door. We'll talk about that later. The new addition is the Hey Friends sign, and I wrapped lights around it, so that looks really cute at night. You'll notice that in the garden area, everything is really green and the flowers are blooming, and it's because it's not too hot right now and everything seems to do really well. I obviously have some fake flowers in these pots here. They are red and white and silver. I strung some lights in this area too, and it looks super cute at night. So here is the tiny wreath. Amanda hung that on the door because the ratio of the size of the wreath to the front door is ridiculous. And there's something that you might have learned about my family so far, is that we like to have fun and we like to laugh. So literally every time we walk up to the front door, we laugh because it's just so ridiculous. So we love it. Here is the little tree that I put out there. I've been doing it out there for the past couple of years. There's a little mushroom on top, and here we have a sign. It says family, and I won that from Shay at Sassy Granny Vlogs. Here's my little tiny flag. It says let it snow, and I have some aqua teal stuff going on outside. I decorated my tree in aqua years ago, and I hate to let it go to waste, so basically use everything until it's just no good anymore. So here's this little garden area that we have. We have a small table out there too, but you can see how green and beautiful everything is. So out front of that little area is the actual front area where the sidewalk is that walks up to the house. And here is Snoopy and his Woodstock deer, and we've got him wrapped in garland. Carl and Amanda turned one of our flower pots into Snoopy's sack of toys, so we think that was a fun and clever addition. Friends, I really appreciate the time that you spent with me today. Thanks for watching. See you soon.